The Masterclass series is graciously funded by the National Endowment for the Arts. Art Works. In an age where college funding is limited, education resources are questionable, and arts programs are being cut, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, better known as CAAPA, has stepped up to the plate. Inspired by CAAPA as part of its commitment in supporting classical music education and performance artists throughout the United States and abroad, we offer the Masterclass series. CAAPA marries serious music students with acclaimed music masters of color, targeting historically black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, high school performing arts schools, and music conservatories, including the universities of Alabama State, Clark Atlanta, Fisk, Hampton, Howard, Lane College, Morgan State, North Carolina Central, Spelman College, Virginia State, and Xavier University of Louisiana. Since its launching in 2014, the Masterclass series helps students work on technique, improve stage presence, fine-tune performances, and build self-confidence. While emphasis is placed on classical music students to participate in the Masterclass series, audiences and faculty members are also encouraged to attend the free-to-the-public sessions. An exciting and fresh way to help CAAPA bring color to the classics. The Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, in partnership with Elizabeth City State University, presents the Masterclass series, the premier Black classical music Masterclass series.
On away, awake, beloved, thou the wildflower of the forest.
Chauncey Packer is an exciting American tenor hailing from southern Alabama. In the 22-23 season, Mr. Packer returns to the Metropolitan Opera to sing Bardolfo in Falstaff and Luis Rodrigo Griffith in Champion. He also makes his role debut as the witch in Hansel and Gretel at New Orleans Opera and brings his celebrated sporting life in Porgy and Bess to Germany's NDR Ebb Philharmonic Orchestra. Mr. Packer has performed with the opera companies of Nashville, Mobile, Pensacola, Utah Festival, Grand Rapids, Des Moines Metro, Pacific, and New Orleans. Mr. Packer recently made his role debut as Cavaradossi in Tosca and Joe the Loiterer in Mother of Us All at Chautauqua Opera, returned to the Metropolitan Opera as Robbins in Crabman and Spinner in Blanchett's Fired Shut Up in My Bones, a role he reprised in 2022 with Lyric Opera of Chicago. Of his sporting life, the Atlanta Journal proclaimed, "Here Chauncey Packer was the complete entertainer."
We are together from our clothes down to our roots.
Mr. Packer did apprenticeships with Des Moines Metro Opera and Utah Festival Opera, received his bachelor's degree from University of Mobile, pursued a master's of music from University of New Orleans, and postgraduate studies at Louisiana State University in music and theater. Facilitating today's masterclass, tenor Chauncey Packer. Hello to everyone and welcome to CAAPA's virtual Masterclass series. My name is Angela Renée Simpson. I am the program director and your host for this series. I would like to thank Elizabeth City State University and its music department for agreeing to partner with us today in bringing color to the classics. To the ECSU music students and faculty who are observing via Zoom, we will have a short question and answer session after Mr. Packer finishes working with Mr. Marshall. Please feel free to use the chat button for any questions you may have. And those who are watching on Facebook Live, please post your questions in the comments. Now, without further ado, I bring to you our music master, tenor Chauncey Packer, followed by ECSU junior soprano, Ms. Chantel Johnson.
Hello, great to be here.
Hello, Mr. Packer. Hello, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. If we can get here we go. I will leave you to it.
Great.
Hello, my name is Chantel Johnson, and today we will be performing Nuit by Debussy. Nuit d'étoiles sous tes voiles, sous ta brise et tes parfums, triste lydie qui s'oublie, je rêve amour de je rêve aux amours des femmes. La serena mélancolie vient égale au fond des bras et j'entends la marée m'habite et ça y est, dans le Nuit d'étoiles sous tes voiles, sous ta brise et tes parfums, triste lydie qui s'oublie, je rêve amour des mots, je rêve aux amours des femmes, je revois à notre fondine des regards comme le ciel, c'est ta rose, c'est ton honneur, et ces étoiles sont tes yeux. Nuit d'étoiles sous tes voiles, sous ta brise et tes parfums, triste lydie qui s'oublie, je rêve aux amours des vents, je rêve aux amours des femmes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, do you like this piece?
I do. I really enjoyed, especially the poem.
Yeah. It's a beautiful piece. Beautiful piece. Tell me what the piece is for you. Tell me what this piece, the mood of it, or the character, who you are, or who you're singing for.
For me, I would say I'm a person that's just lost a loved one, and so I'm reflecting on how I feel about losing a special person that was dear to my heart. And then I'm talking about like your eyes are the stars, your fragrances. Like I'm just remembering you, and I'm missing your love.
Okay, gotcha. So this is what I want you to look at the piece. Like you can step there right behind the accompanist there and just look at the piece. I want to go through and let's just look at it and let's study it and see what, because we always have great information with what the composer gives us. Right. And I love to be respectful of the composer and the arrangers and try to give them mostly what they say. Now we look there and we start with Allegro moderato. So for that tempo or that mood marking, oftentimes like people, we go there and say that's a tempo marking, but it's often sometimes a mood marking for the piece as well. So now I will tell you, I looked it up just to check myself again, like what does allegro mean? And so for when I looked it up, and I kind of had to be reminded that it translates into cheerful. So we want a cheerful, moderate mood. So it should kind of steadily click along, kind of cheerfully. Even though you say you like the mood, and again, he says that he's lost loved ones, is what he said when you say about love deceased ones who are gone. So, but even though it's got a sad tint to it, it's sort of a I always think about that when we celebrate people's lives, and even those who have gone on, there's sort of a joy about the living of them. So you're talking about the eyes and how they shine and the love that you had in the land of the living. So even though you have the mood of someone that's gone on to the other side, it's marked with a cheerful moderate. So we want to keep it kind of moving along. So we'll go and look on ahead at some of the tempo markings there and see what we have. The next marking we have there, it says poco animato. See?
Yes.
Okay, so that means a little animated. So when you do that bridge, it'll be a little, not that it has to be faster per se, but it has to be a little more animated. And so then you go back to the Nuit d'étoile, right? So right there it says, right before the accompanist starts with the un poco ritardo. So it retards a little bit, and then you retard right as you come in, but then it goes back to the first tempo of that cheerful moderate. So we need to keep it in that steady thing there, and that'll help you there with and then when it comes back again for the next verse, there's an animato. So the first time you had a poco animato, a little animated, but then this time it's more animated. And what are you saying right there when it's more animated?
It's
here's where he talks about the blue eyes and
the blue eyes and your breath smells like roses. And
yes. Now right there in the marking there, it says seto rosa. Right above the seto rosa, there's a marking that says sempre crescendo. So that means always growing, always crescending. So always. So in that phrasing of that, you're going to kind of, whether you grow with the volume, that doesn't matter so much. But when it says always growing, it's in intensity, I believe. So when you talk about the rose of the breath, and then it opens up to this beautiful A. So the whole phrase kind of leads, when it starts animato, it starts a little animated, he says there, and then your eyes are blue, and then your breath is like a rose. So it grows there. And then for me, when it says always growing or always crescendoing, I think it leads to the end of there where it says to your eyes, tes yeux. So even though the volume may crescendo to the A there, and then it goes, but I think when he says always growing, I think he means to continue that to tes yeux. So even though the intensity of it is like this rose, your breath smells like rose, and then the stars are your eyes. It's like you went from they look like your eyes, or the blue is kind of like this and that, but then your breath your breath is like is the rose, and then the stars are your eyes. And then it comes back to de l'étoile. I'm sorry, not de l'étoile, Nuit d'étoile. So then it's marked there, pianissimo, right?
Right.
And then we go on, there's a diminuendo there at the sutabrise. And then the very last phrase, he says, it's marked morendo. It's mixed. It's like Italian and French language there mixing. But again, so he wants to get it. So what it's saying is that it says dying until the end, and slowing, rallentando, and slowing down. And then in the piano market, who is your duet partner there, the pianist there, they have a marking there. So ritardando and diminuendo at the end. So when you come to the je rêve amour de toi, again, it'll be, I always take markings as intensity. It doesn't always have to be, it has to be softer, or your dynamics are relative to your voice and what you do as an artist. But when it says dying, I think it just means that it just kind of dies away there. And he said dying to the end there. So again, now when we study a piece, we have to take all these things into consideration. That's before we even utter a word of French or sing a note of music. But this is the marking for this piece. And it sort of shapes the piece. And when we really look at it that way and study it, how we put it in. And I believe, again, when we started, the whole piece is entitled for Allegro Moderato. So again, it's cheerfully moderate. So we got to keep it kind of clicking along, and we can't slow down too early, too soon, or the times when we are instructed to slow down, then it will be too long and too broad. And you understand what I'm saying? So right. I'd like to, so if we can try to respect, what Monsieur Debussy has there, and then we'll keep it kind of clicking along kind of cheerfully. And I think it'll help just keep it, keep a texture that'll keep it very French, very fluid, very legato through there. So beautiful work. But let's keep that in mind for a cheerful moderate. Let's start it again. Right there. Let's keep it moving. So just because there's a high note and it's a gorgeous phrase, then you sing it beautifully. But let's keep that moving. Is there a tempo marking to slow it down right there? No. So let's keep that moving. It's a beautiful grow. Now you feel the phrase beautifully. That's instinctually correct. Now, don't get me wrong. What you're feeling is that nice, beautiful shaping of the phrase. But you can keep the same shaping, but keep that steady moving. Okay. And then your duet partner, she'll give a little bit with you, but she'll keep you moving there. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's go back to triste lyre. What does that mean? That means sad, liar. So again, let the words tint. You're a beautiful artist. You sing beautifully. Let these words really tint how you sing them. It's a little sadness there. And then he says, qui soupire, is who sighs, or that sighs. So there's a sigh there. And then you go into this great this beautiful phrase that you shape so beautifully. So the sigh goes into what you're saying there next. So again, keep the texture of how you shape the phrase, but let's keep it steadily moving along till we get a retard. And then when we have a retard, there's a reason for the retard and what you want to say. Okay, let's go back. You can go back to the beginning phrase, that beautiful work.
I'm sorry.
Beautiful. I was just saying. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, again, you can open up on that. Je rêve aux amours des femmes. And then the piano marking. Je rêve aux amours de. So then that's a textural thing. It doesn't have to be so much that you sing it pianissimo, but change the texture when you repeat the phrase. Because, and he has it marking, the first time you sing it, he gives you a forte. So he lets you go from the side into Je rêve d'amour de femme. So you sing that and let it sail. Again, we're not going to slow down, but let it open up. And then when you come back and say the phrase again, anytime you repeat a phrase musically, it needs a different texture the second time you repeat.
Right.
Yeah. So sing. Would it be easier to go back to Nuit d'étoiles or?
Sure.
Okay, let's go there.
Nuit d'étoiles sous tes voiles, sous ta braise et tes paroles, triste île qui soupire, je rêve aux amours des flots, je rêve aux amours des flots.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's better. Good. Again, I want to encourage you to. Debussy is what they note as an impressionistic composer. He when I was reading somewhere, he didn't really care for that term to be labeled that term, but he falls in that era of impressionistic composer, impressionistic works. Are you familiar with Van Gogh? The artist Van Gogh, he did this painting called Starry Night. So every time I hear this song, I think of Starry Night. It's impressionistic. It's almost like you can see the little eyes in the stars, like they all look like eyes. So that painting fits this piece quite perfectly. Say again?
I said, I'm gonna think about that when I sing it.
Yes, that would be my recommendation. So even when you start, he lets you start forte. Or not full forte, but yeah, moderately forte. So when you start again, take in that painting. And again, it's quite majestic. When you've seen the painting, it's quite majestic. So you don't even have to come in delicately. You can come in proclaiming this night of stars and take in that, think of the starry night. So he doesn't have you come in soft. He has you come in sort of declaiming what you want to speak about, which is the title. So start again and take in that painting and just let that fill your mind. Yes. Good. Good.
I didn't know you wanted me to keep going.
Yeah, that was beautiful, 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 beautiful. How'd that feel?
It definitely felt better, I guess, performance and feeling wise.
Yes. That's what we always want to go for. We want to, you did this when you said performance and feeling wise, that it seemed a little freer, a bit of abandonment. And again, when I'm always of the component of the mindset that what we do is an exchange with the audience. We're entertainers and we sort of reflect human existence to the audience. And again, the more we in the moment of what we're communicating, the easier it is for them to get what we want to communicate. And like I said, when you start, I mean, your duet partner sets you up really nicely. This ring, ring, ring. So the scene is set with the Starry Night. For me personally, I'm not even, if you come in with the band and again, just feel very free and declaim that. So also, I want to say, when you talk about the breeze, you said sous ta brise. So you said what you're saying is it's under your breeze, right? So again, you're speaking to somebody very specific, but again, these words are brise, and it's sort of shaped in a beautiful breeze, and he gives you a little crescendo, decrescendo there. So feel all that, feel the wind around you, feel all that, go forward with that. It really is a mood, this piece. So let the mood take you, let the mood take you. And I was gonna say a recommendation when you repeat the phrase, je rêve aux amours de fin. I always think French is it's closed sort of on the bouche, the mouth there. So let that take as if you were going to kiss this loved one with these words right there. It shapes you right there. Je rêve aux amours de fin. Again, not that slow as I just did it, but again, how the words and right there. So after you opened it up, you have this phrase where you opened it up and sort of declaimed it or exclaimed it. Then you bring it in for this other texture that's almost a kiss for your loved one that's gone. Just a
5 minutes, Mr. Packer, 5 minutes.
Oh goodness, I'm getting too in. Okay, so let's go on to let's go 5 minutes, really? Ah, okay. Beautiful word. Let's take it up at the poco animato.
The first verse?
The poco animato.
Yes, sí.
With the la serene.
Sí, oui.